You ever notice how the rich prep differently than you and I? You may stock up on beans and they buy missile silos. You dig through Amazon for searching for the best Mylar blanket, and they're digging into mountain size. You watch the news and pray that the grid holds, and they disappear behind biometric blast doors. Why? Because they know something that we don't. And they're preparing like they've seen the script. Okay. So let's talk about it. There's $21 million, $21 trillion that is missing. And that money was used for underground cities, right? Zuckerberg's also got an island fortress. And you got to ask yourself, what the hell are they running from? And that you and I aren't supposed to survive, because that's what this boils down to. They would not spend all this money, $21 trillion. Catherine Austin Fitts, former Assistant Secretary of Housing under the George H.W. Bush administration. She's not a YouTuber. She's not a Reddit mod. Okay. A real government insider. She says, went public on Tucker Carlson, stating that $21 trillion with a T was siphoned off by the feds. It disappeared. Gone. And into what she calls a black budget, used to build deep underground military bases, aka DUMBs, for the rich, powerful, and unaccountable. Maybe the Ilhan Omars, they're all in the same club. The media silent, Congress silent. They're pretending they don't know how to use a calculator. And most Americans are too busy, arguing about politics on social media to even ask what $21 trillion could buy. So let me play the video real quick.
But I think that whether it's a pole shift, magnetic pole shift is one of the, theories of what causes these events. But there is a history of near extinction events. And one of the things that I've looked at, because I'm trying to figure out, between fiscal 1998 and fiscal 2015, there were 21 trillion of undocumentable adjustments in the U.S. government. If you go to our website, missingmoney.solera.com, we have years and years of documentation, including the.
So let me just ask you, what can you buy with $21 trillion? Let me help you. Enough food to feed the world for a decade. The world. Enough shelters to house every homeless veteran in America. Or it could just be a network of underground cities for global elites to ride out in the end of the world in 5-star comfort. Because I saw some photos of some of these bunkers, and these things are, top, upper echelon, man. Nice, extremely nice. Anyway.
The government financials that show this. And so the question is, where's all this money going? And one of the things I've looked at in the process of looking at where all this money is going is the underground base and city infrastructure and transportation system that's been built. And
I'm sorry?
Yes. So we have built an extraordinary number of underground bases and supposedly transportation systems. Some of these are some of these are documented as part of the national security infrastructure. I think there are many more. So,
in the United States?
In the United States, on all over the world. But, from 2021 to 2023, I took one of the smartest subscribers in the Solera Report network, and he and I spent 2 years collecting all the data and all the allegations on underground bases. And then we systematically went through and tried to estimate our guess. This is totally a guess of how many underground bases, both underground in the United States, but also underground under the ocean around the United States.
So these DUMBs, these deep underground military bases, are not only underneath the ground within the U.S. and have like rail systems transport back and forth. They also have in the ocean surrounding the U.S. And before you call me a conspiracy theorist, this article is from a few days ago. The U.S. government is upgrading a secretive FEMA bunker. Why? Well, that's classified. The hidden underground facility located 60 miles west of Washington, D.C. is getting upgrades, but the specifics remain a secret. They've been doing this for quite some time. Now, has any empire in history built bunkers right before it collapsed? Ask yourself. Nazi Germany, yep. The Fuhrer bunker. Cold War, USA, absolutely. Mount Weather, Raven Rock, Cheyenne Mountain, you've heard of those. Congress even had a secret fallout shelter under the luxury resort, the Greenbrier in West Virginia. You can actually go see it. It's pretty amazing. They built it, they stocked it, and actually trained for it and told you nothing about it because your survival was never the plan. These bunkers weren't for the people. They were for the ones pulling the strings. Remember, they were just doing mass casualty drills in D.C. Okay? Out of the blue, out of nowhere. Did they offer you or I to get on board that? I mean, let's talk about Mark Zuckerberg for a moment, the robot hybrid lizard running Facebook. Meta, the metaverse, whatever. He is building a $270 million fortress in Hawaii with 5,000 square foot underground shelter, blast doors, a privacy moat, biometric scanners to make sure the unwashed masses can't sneak in during Armageddon. He's hired a team of former Navy SEALs to protect him. This isn't a guest house. It's a command bunker. Locals hate it. He's bought up entire communities, bulldozed them, cultural sites, and turned paradise into basically a private island surveillance state. Ask yourself this. Why does the billionaire who controls your data know what will make him build a bunker like this? He's not prepping for a tropical storm. He's preparing for a total collapse. Okay? Now, back to the government. Catherine Fitz says there's at least 170 of these deep underground military bases. Some with maglev trains connecting them faster than anything you'll ride above ground. Locations, Cheyenne Mountain still active. The Dulce base in New Mexico alleged to run deep biological experiments. Denver International Airport, giant underground network, occult murals, Masonic symbols. Coincidence? These places exist. They're just not for you and I. The logistics, funded by defense contracts, buried in miscellaneous expenditures, or just, man, straight up off the books. You paid for it, but you and I ain't invited to it. We're not invited to this barbecue. Okay. Now, celebrity bunkers, again, it's not just Zuck. Bill Gates owns doomsday seed vaults in Norway and half of America's farmland. Tom Cruise has a private compound with a survival bunker. Kim Kardashian installed a survival panic shelter in her mansion. It's probably not for earthquakes. And listen to this. Jeff Bezos owns a property on high elevation, isolated land, and has a space escape as a plan B. Space escape. Remember I talked about that the other week? These elites, they're planning to go to space while everything goes to hell here. These people know how fragile the system is because they helped build the damn thing. They're helping destroy it. They're not just rich, guys. They're positioned. And they're leaving clues in plain sight. Even the rapper Rick Ross has built a underground shelter, right? Doomsday bunker. Now, let me throw some more fuel on the fire. The Department of Homeland Security stockpiled 1.6 billion rounds of ammo a few years back, right? 1.6 billion rounds of ammo for Homeland Security. It's time to have a national conversation. This is from March 11, 2013. Why? FEMA ordered millions of body bags and plastic coffins stacked right outside of Atlanta, visible from Google Maps. Here's a guy showing one here. I just mentioned the continuity of government drills increased after COVID quietly with little public disclosure. It was just happening a few months back. I did a video about it. Why? Because they're preparing for grid failure, man, economic collapse, or maybe even some cosmic level event. Oh, it's just clickbait. They're not telling you. They don't want you to know. They don't expect you to survive it, ladies and gentlemen. They don't expect you to survive it. Now let's stretch this out further. Why do you think the elites are so obsessed with space travel, seed vaults, AI overlords, gene editing, and life extension? Because they're into all that stuff. You think it's a hobby? Because they're planning for a future where you and I don't make the cut. Whether it's some type of solar flare that fries the grid, an asteroid strike, maybe a bioengineered virus that accidentally gets released, or full-blown societal collapse. They're betting on needing a fortress, not a press conference. And their escape plans are bunkers for them, chaos for us. Okay? They're not even going to let us know what's happening. So what do they know? What's coming? Because billionaires don't spend millions on hideouts because they're bored. I've heard people say that. You only dig into a mountain when you're expecting hell to rain down. You only stockpile when you know the shelves will be empty. And you only vanish from the surface when you've already pulled the plug. So maybe it's not about a single event. Maybe it's about the controlled demolition of everything. Currency being digitized, food centralized and rationed, faith replaced with technocratic dogma, you and I disposable. That's unless you decide not to be, because they expect us to be. That's why so many people, they're like, yes, I will take the 10th booster. I will do this. I will do whatever CNN says. They're conditioned for this. Even last night, my last night's video, let me show you, even conservative patriots are conditioned to this. Look at this comment from last night. This guy's talking about, because I did the video about tyranny coming within the new bill that was put in place by a Republican about memes and such. He says, brother, the information in this video is incorrect. Please read Texas HB 336 and then clarify or take down the video. As much as I love my state and don't like propaganda, I also highly respect you and don't want people to be able to point this as a source to discredit you. The work you're doing is great and very neat, and sometimes we get it wrong. And like in this case, I posted the whole bill, but YouTube keeps deleting these comments. Please look it up and read the whole thing. It's a good thing, and it penalizes creators of political propaganda for advertising lies. Nobody who posts a meme will be in trouble in the slightest. Hope this helps. This was my reply. Brother, if you think a government bill deciding what political propaganda is sounds like a good thing, then you're already domesticated. That's not patriotism. That's obedience wrapped in delusion. And you say no one will be in trouble. Tell that to the January 6th grandmas that was rotting in federal prison. The road to tyranny isn't paved with bombs. It's paved with people like you who think censorship is fine as long as it feels right. He dropped 4 comments. Defending the state like it's your mama. Respectfully, grow a spine. Never do I want more bills. And it may, because Trump's the president's on our side at this moment, but as soon as a Democrat, they will abuse that bill and you will be put in prison for making a meme about using Pepe to frog, like I said last night. A guy went to prison for a Hillary Clinton meme in 2016. Went to prison. I think he's still there. So trust me, no, you can't be conditioned to this stuff. Even patriots are conditioned to this stuff. So let me break it down for the warriors that's still in the room. If you're going to wait for rescue, you're already dead. There's no president, no agency, no celebrity prepper with an affiliate code that's going to show up for you when lights go out, right? You are your own first responder. Harden your mind, train your body, and tighten your tribe, fortify your home, keep your faith sharp, because the darkness you see is spiritual before it becomes physical. And I say this kind of stuff every night because I hope I get through to people. While they build bunkers, I'm out there hoping to build strong men and women. While they hide underground, we will be standing upright and ready. You don't need a billionaire budget. You just need balls, brains, and a battle plan, and a few battle buddies. And, you know, you can't, people are they have the illusion they're being saved right now. You're not going to be saved by executive orders. The $21 trillion is gone. Bunkers are built, the gates are locked, and the elites are praying you stay distracted long enough for them to disappear. But this isn't about fear. It's about clarity. Because once you see what's coming, you stop living like a pawn and you start moving like a king. This is Black Scout Survival. Stay frosty. Stay strapped. Always stay dangerous. Take care.